Hey, hi, I'm Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi-vision. Thanks for talking to me today. I appreciate it. Hi.
Thank
Um,
you.
I enjoyed the series very much. To sort of start out, John, I'm going to ask you the first question. Obviously, this is a remake of the UK show. What was it sort of about that made you want to redo it, and how did it sort of come about?
Um, this came about because CBS Studios, whom I've worked with before, uh, brought this format to me and asked me if I'd be interested in trying to develop the American version of this very successful UK comedy Friday Night Dinner. And I watched it, and right away I just saw my family and my own life in this show. Robert Popper grew up in North London with one brother that he had a pretty charged, funny relationship with, and two parents that were constantly figuring out different ways to embarrass them. And I just saw my own family in that. I grew up in a house just like that, and I asked the creator and producers of the original show if they'd be okay with me sort of taking the format of this family that gets together every week and things, always go haywire, and uh, sort of making it my own by creating different characters from the ones on that show, and bringing my own life and experiences into it. And they were all very supportive of that. And so that's what I was lucky enough to be able to do. It didn't make sense to me to do this unless this could be a different family. Um, Particularly because the original show, it exists already. It's there to be watched. Many seasons of it can be watched by anyone who's interested, and everybody should watch it. And this, to me, was an opportunity to take that format, which is so fruitful, and just do the same thing but with different characters.
All right. Now, Carol, for people who haven't seen it, why don't you tell me a bit about your character and what was it that made you want to be part of the project?
Well, I play Nana Rose. I'm the grandmother of the family, and I live with my daughter, my son-in-law, and my grandkids because my husband has passed away. And um, I, like John sort of brought his own family into the show. I modeled a lot of my character on my own grandmother, my mother's mother, Seal, who was a fashion plate. She was always dolled up, no matter, even if she was just hanging out with the grandkids in the living room. And I loved that aspect of her and tried to bring that in. She was Viennese uh, and yeah, so I just read it and thought it was lovely and funny, and I liked the family dynamic a lot, and I felt that we can all relate to it. I think that we can all relate to the notion of a family that loves each other, but nothing quite fits together the way you expect it to.
Yeah.
And I also love that there was a lot of physical comedy in it. And I got to work with a snake, and that was a very big attraction. When I saw that, I said, "I'll say yes." No, I did get to work with the snake, and I've never worked with the snake before. And I have to say, I loved it. I love petting this little snake. Who could have thunk it?
Okay, you sound like me. I've always grown up, always liked reptiles and snakes, and people always like, why?
Have you? I said, but I've
Yeah,
never met
I
one
thought they were cute.
before. They are cute, but I didn't know that until this show.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. So John, I want to ask you, since this wasn't now you changed the family, so maybe you didn't come into this problem at all. But did you think about like changing things, I guess, because it went from a UK show to a US show? Because I know some things are kind of comedies different, or was that really just not an issue because you changed the whole, all the characters? Did that really not?
Um, the truth is, I watched enough of the original series to know that I loved the format and that I had many stories I could tell within this format. But then
Hmm.
I stopped because not because I didn't want to watch it. I do, and I will watch it when all this is over.
Yeah.
I'll watch every episode. But I didn't want to fill my head with the exact details of the characters and relationships from the original series.
Hmm.
Um, this is a new series. It's its own thing. Uh, even though it is based on the format of this very
Right.
successful show that came before, um, I, the characters on this show are named after the middle names of me and my family. Many of the traits are taken, and these people are not exactly like me and my brother and my parents, but there are definitely some real similarities. Um, so I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about how would they have done it on Friday night dinner, just because
Hmm.
they did it. They had, they did it, and this was more like, all right, well, what kind of games are we going to play in this sort of sandbox that they designed? And
Hmm.
it's its own
It's so
thing.
well put.
Yeah. Well, it works.
Thanks.
Definitely works. Uh,
Yeah.
So Carol, I wanted you talked about the physical comedy. Can you talk about the chair, the recline or the massage chair, just
The
filming that because
chair
that
that
was
tried to
hilarious.
kill me. Well, I'll say that I loved that episode and doing that, but I will say, to the credit of the props team and set deck and stunt people and director, and it was not uncomplicated to make it work.
Yeah,
You say
it
that
was.
it was
Oh my
coming.
God, it was a nightmare.
See
Car-
now, I
Carol
call
was
that a
brilliant.
challenge.
No, Carol was brilliant, but it was a very vexing thing to shoot. This this notion of a massage chair that kind of goes off on its own and makes its own decisions about what to
Gobbles
do.
me up.
Um, this was based on an experience that I had.
Is that
Um,
true? I'm
yeah,
finding out all this
because
new stuff today.
well, who would ever think of this storyline if it hadn't happened in real life? But I was demoing a massage chair
No.
at a
Oh, it
a
wasn't even your
mall
own chair.
store. No, it
At a
was
mall?
you know how at malls you always used to get to sit in a massage chair because there'd be
Yeah.
like a sharper image or a
Yeah.
Brookstones,
You could try
and
it
I
out.
sat yeah, and I sat in this thing, and it had these places to put your arms and legs where it would squeeze down and give you a massage. And
Hmm.
I got stuck in the thing, and it wouldn't
No.
let me out.
Don't
And
believe anything he says.
when, when I was
That's it.
talking to the other writers and producers about this story, they were like, "Well, could that actually happen?" I was like, "It did happen. It happened to me." Um, and so it was
So
yeah, it
funny.
was for some reason it was challenging to shoot.
It was
But
challenging
we
because we had to make every aspect of that chair work.
yes,
And then I had to, pretend that I was stuck, and the Velcro would like unfasten. And remember, I had to come down the stairs with part of the chair on my head. That was challenging because that thing was big and heavy, and it didn't want to stay on. So all those things, but I think what happened in the end is that it worked, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
worked. Definitely was some funny scenes there. All
Good.
right. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Like I said, I
Thank you.
really enjoyed the series. So looking forward to other people
Yay.
seeing it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie.
I suppose the massage chair is the closest thing to sci-fi in the episode.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
You too.